Live? Are we live? Are we live, people? Are we live? Let us know if we're live. Looking to see if we are live because we had a Sunday practice at Quest Diagnostic Center in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So looking to see if we're live so we could talk about day 4 of Giants training camp because that's what we want to do.
We're live.
We want to talk about the offense. We want to talk about the defense. We want to talk about things that they're trying, the coaching staff. We want to talk. We are live. What's going on, everybody? It's Talking Giants, day 4 Giants training camp recap. I'm Bobby Skinner here with Justin Penik. Brought to you by our watch party. Check the link, the pin comment. And another successful day for the offense. I will say this, though. They weren't in pads, and it was a lot of 11 on 11. There was 3 times where there was clear sacks. Yeah. Now, I wasn't focusing on the O-line a ton, but I know one was Bobby Okereke running free, so they came from wink blitzes, and I don't know how much of it was O-line.
Kayvon had a sack on a stunt.
Right, so throwing a lot at them, and it's when you're at practice, sacks don't matter as much to when you're watching, but those did happen. So it wasn't like the offense was just out there perfectly, but and they finished off with it. But on the plays that weren't sacks, DJ was 11 of 12. Slayton got the ball a lot. A topic of discussion has been, well, who's going to be the wide receiver who gets the most yards and the most, targets and stuff? And every year we have this discussion about this guy. And then we finish the season, and who is leading the Giants in receiving every year? Darius Slayton. And I went and I just charted all the catches from Daniel Jones in team drills from the past 4 days. And I have Waller has 10, Darius Slayton has 7. Third is Paris Campbell with 4.
And a lot of them have, for Darius Slayton, have come within the last 2 days. Where Campbell got off to a pretty fast start. Waller obviously got off to a fast start. And it's not that Waller has cooled off. It's just that Waller just had such a fast start, and now they're spreading the ball around a little bit more.
We saw today them start to do some, creative things to get Darren Waller the ball. They started a drive on their own 1-yard line, and they had Waller out wide lined up on Banks. And then they had Slayton on the other side, and then they had the tight end. I think Bellinger. I don't remember, but they had and they even motioned Slayton in. So everyone's tight at their own 1-yard line, under center, and Waller out wide versus Banks. And it wasn't like true play action where it's like you do the fake handoff. It was DJ's just kind of looked showed handoff and then pops out, hits Waller on a slant, and it was at least like a 12-yard gain. If he breaks the tackle of a corner, it could have been maybe Victor Cruz level.
Yeah.
But some interesting stuff like that. And then they put him out in 13 personnel, all the 3 tight ends, hand in the dirt on the right side of the line of scrimmage. They play action out of it, and Waller is open on a crosser. So they're doing some more creative ways to get Darren Waller the ball.
Yeah, today was a very heavy play action day. I just found that all 3 quarterbacks were play action, roll out, and then sometimes even within the pocket. There was a formation that I loved that had Darren Waller as lining up in the slot as the slot receiver. You had your outside receivers. I think even Paris Campbell has been used more as an outside receiver the last couple days than he was at the start of camp, where he was exclusively lining up in the slot. Paris Campbell's been lining up in the outside a lot. It was Waller in the slot, and then you had Bellinger with his hand in the dirt. So I think you are going hey, how are you going to include Daniel Bellinger in an offense with Darren Waller? We are. I'm still it's a big question for me. It's how often is Waller going to be lined up out wide? Because I still do think he is a matchup nightmare when his hand is in the dirt, sometimes even a little bit more than when he's lined up wide, but he has been lined up wide a ton to start camp. But we haven't seen a lot of running packages yet. They barely run the ball.
Yeah, and I'd like to see probably a 60-40 split with inline versus, lined up in the slot for Waller. That's when he's been the most successful in his career. And even the one incompletion they had today was something that's we haven't seen this, was Paris Campbell up the seam.
Oh, yeah, Jones just kind of overthrew him.
Yeah, Jones overthrew him by a couple of yards, but it's man, we have some speed in the slot where
and that was motion.
We can test some things.
It was either pre-snap motion right before the snap, and I don't know if Campbell actually settled or it was motion at the snap where Campbell was going. There was a few snaps in a row where Campbell was going left to right, motion around the snap of the ball, and then he runs kind of that slot fade, and that was cool to see.
Yeah, they're truly pushing the ball down the field in these
Trying.
practices, and
They're doing it more successfully than they did last year.
I'm going to say, unlike last year, they're doing like they tried in the beginning of camp last year. It was extremely unsuccessful.
Yeah.
This year, they're doing it successfully, whether it's to Wall or, today, Slayton cooked Banks on a post route, and DJ like really underthrew. Like it was just a bad throw by DJ, but Slayton was still able to like kind of stop and catch it.
I think that was Banks that was in coverage.
Yeah, which we'll talk about that in the conversation around Banks right now. So you're doing that, and then there's two. They ended. They're like moving the ball down the field with like two little quick passes, and it was like, oh, that's weird. Like, what are they doing? Which that was what the offense was last year. So there's definitely going to be more an effort to do it, but I think they're going to be able to actually do it successfully this season.
Let me ask you this: I asked Joe. I was hanging out with license plate guy. This was a fence practice for me. I finally went down to the fence. I wanted to see if I can like hear things, and I couldn't. Music blaring, people talking, everything like that. So that was probably my first and only fence practice that I'm ever gonna do. But it was just cool to see. I saw a bunch of media people. Blah blah blah. Joe Ruback hung out with a bunch of people, so it was cool to see.
I told you to pay some kid $5 to say something mean to Giant Inside.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was asking Joe Ruback about like some wide receiver is not going to get as much run as we think that they're going to. And I am now, if the Giants offense that we're seeing right now with pushing the ball down the field is the offense that we are going to see early part of the season, they don't need to pivot. I think that guy is Isaiah Hodgins.
But he's
going to be part of the offense.
Yeah, but he's not being targeted a ton.
But he's not being targeted a ton.
It's the red zone. Like when did we see Hodgins being used the most?
The red zone.
Day one when they were doing red zone drills. That's when Hodgins was getting the targets. So that's why when we did our player profile on him last week, I was talking about like, yeah, I do see his production in the red zone staying true. But my question for Hodgins is, what is it going to look like outside of the red zone?
Yeah, and seeing it with my own eyes. I am high on Hodgins, and I'm not going to go through camp and just be like, oh, I'm going to change my stats, and I don't think he's going to put up the same numbers as he did last year because there's always injuries and stuff like that. But just seeing how camp has unfolded, between the 20-yard line to 20-yard line before you get into the red zone. Hodgins may be one of the guys that is not forgotten because he's still very valuable in the quick game, and he's still very valuable, getting open and knowing how to, especially like third downs. Hodgins is going to be out there like third and shorts. Hodgins should be out there, but if there's a guy that you can't have 5 wide receivers on the field at the same time. So that's my thought.
And that was actually a note I put down today because Colin Johnson is like the number 1 target for Tyrod Taylor in the second team.
Yeah,
and it just kind of had a moment like, man, it really sucks that he got hurt last year.
Because that would have been him.
He would have played last year. He would have been a starter all year long, and we would at least know what he is. And instead, we're talking about him having another good camp, but I don't know if he's going to even make the roster because of the numbers game. Because like Sterling Shepard today was activated off PUP.
Awesome.
He had a catch from Daniel Jones. Jamison Crowder activated from the NFI list.
Awesome.
Cole Beasley was practicing. And it's just like, I just don't see I don't see Colin Johnson making this team.
Yeah, that's why it's tough to talk about.
What can Colin Johnson do to make this team? I don't see it happening.
That's why it's tough to talk about a lot of these other receivers that like they're having good camps. Like Mickens is having a good camp, and we haven't talked about Colin Johnson a ton just because it's so tough for some of these guys like even Bryce Ford Wheaton. We've talked about him, but it's so tough for these guys to have like a path to actually make the team.
Jalin Hyatt. We got the first.
We do have to talk about him.
We got the first deep Jalin Hyatt catch, and he was wide ass open. Tyrod Taylor got it to him. Beautiful ball. It was the first play that wasn't in red zone drills. Was like touchdown.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, that is a touchdown undoubtedly. He just ran past everyone. So they're getting him more involved. I'm sure his confidence is getting up. And we asked our question with Hyatt is like, what's the plan for him? And well, he's not going to be first team as long as everyone stays healthy. There is going to be a plan for him, and there's going to be yards available for him to get.
And teams have to respect the speed. Like even if Jalin Hyatt is behind in the route running development part of his game, his rookie year, like what we saw at Tennessee, with the vertical game and expanding the field. that is going to transfer over from day one in the NFL. I'm very, very confident in it. And if you are going to have a team that does not want to respect the deep speed of Jalin Hyatt, I need Daniel Jones. I need Brian Daboll. I need Mike Kafka to try and scheme something to take advantage of it, because it will be there if teams let it be there. If you just let them go one-on-one with somebody, especially if it's somebody who not one of your faster corners, Jalin Hyatt is going to eat, because even when Jalin Hyatt hasn't been targeted, and he showed some frustration throughout last week and part of camp, he's been open on those vertical routes down the field. So that is something that day one, in terms of, you were asking, well, what do we expect from Jalin Hyatt? Him working vertically down the field, that's what we wanted him to do this year, and I'm confident he's going to do it.
Yeah, and just like when they put out those 2 tight ends, 2 wide receiver like play action sets, it's like, man, we can throw the deep post. Like if safety takes a wrong step, we can throw the post on that. We can throw the alert on that. I want to talk about what they're doing with the offensive line today. Again, I will say I was watching the pocket a little bit, and Neal looked to be good, but no pads today, so I'm not doing any big takeaways from that.
I tried watching JMS a little bit more today, since today it was one of the first days where he exclusively was center number 1. I think he looked okay.
When they did some run plays, moving out in space and pulling, like he did some really good sealing off. But again, no pads, so it's not going to make any difference. But what they're doing is they're trying to get guys to cross train. So today, JMS was the center. Tyree Phillips was the starting left guard today. Yeah. And I don't think that's because Tyree Phillips is in a battle.
Yeah.
But what I think it is Tyree Phillips has tackle guard versatility. He is going to be the swing tackle. But if 2 guards get injured, or whatever, Phillips is going to play guard, and if he's on the second team, he's the tackle. So
Phillips has played guard in Baltimore before. I think he was drafted to be a tackle out there in Baltimore. He was somewhat
guard
of a
is probably his best position. He's just been put in the tackle his entire career.
So I have this question: do we think that the left guard battle has been already decided by the coaching staff?
No, because I think Bredesen's the favorite, and Azudu is someone they would want to win it.
Yeah, we got.
And Bredesen was at right guard today with the second team, and even got a couple first team reps at right guard. So Bredesen is truly being trained for center, left guard, right guard. But I do think Bredesen ends up starting at left guard to start the season.
Or
maybe they do the rotation again. Like this coaching staff did it with 2 different players. They did it with Bredesen and Azudu to start, and then Azudu was just like, okay, not
Glowinski,
good.
Glowinski should be part of that rotation.
Then they did Bredesen and Gates. So maybe they'll start the season with. You know what? They're probably going to do that now that I'm thinking about it, which I'm not a fan of rotation.
Yeah. I would rather you rotate in and out Glowinski.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I'd just rather not do a rotation. Any other? Oh, my other offensive note is James Robinson comeback tour as he's slow.
Yeah, Deshaun Corbin was out there. I haven't seen him yet. And even he looked like better than James Robinson.
Yeah, today. James Robinson is like, okay, yeah, this is why the Patriots cut you in minicamp. He's the resurgence tour or whatever. It's not happening.
Summer James Robinson.
Yeah.
No more.
It was. Hey, we called it. We're like, everyone's saying James Robinson. Cole Beasley's the one that's going to make this team.
Pat ourselves on the back again.
Pat on the back.
Pat.
Before we get into the defense, I'm going to do something right now in the chat.
Oh, do something in the chat right now.
I'm going to spam the chat.
Oh, boy. Who is that menace putting that
I'm spamming
link?
the chat. Click on that link right now for a free $1,000.
Hand delivered by you.
Let me do anyway. Our watch party. You're
gonna knock on somebody's door.
We're gonna have a watch party for the Detroit Lions game. I know it's a preseason game, but I think it'd be more just enjoyable to come out. Now tickets are $25. We're gonna be at the Midnight Theater in New York City. So hey, Giants football is back. So we don't get FanFest this year. This is our replacement for it.
Yeah.
So come out, support. They were a lot of fun in the playoff games. Even though we got smoked by the Eagles, it was like, yeah, it was good to be with our people while it happened.
If you guess when my mom's birthday is, you'll come on the stream for 5 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Guess when my mom's birthday is. Not you. You're going to be on the stream already.
I thought you meant on this stream today.
No, not on the stream. On the stream, because we're going to be streaming during the Giants-Lions preseason game. So you can come on the stream for 10 minutes if you guess my mom's birthday. But please get tickets.
Yeah, get the tickets to our watch party, Midnight Theater in New York City. It's going to be a good time.
Doors open 5:30.
Guys. Yeah, doors open 5:30. Game starts at 7. I'll get to watch some of the rookies and stuff. And you know who we can watch? We can watch Trey Hawkins, who we have become a Trey Hawkins podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Trey Hawkins, the 6th-round corner out of Old Dominion, this 6'2" athlete. Now we're gonna get spammed with dates. In the chat.
That's fine. I'm gonna try and look at
what
them.
is. All right, write down what it is for
It's
me.
the same day as somebody else's birthday that we're close with.
Oh, I think it's the same as.
Don't say it because then people are gonna look it up.
Yeah, I remember because I remember you tweeting about it.
Yep, I have tweeted about my mom's birthday.
Go search
mom.
Justin's Twitter.
Just
mom.
put mom. Trey Hawkins is amazing.
Consistently, man. He's consistently really good. So Sterling Shepard came back today off PUP, which we didn't really talk much about, but he's back. How many times do we need to have a Sterling Shepard activated
back
from PUP? Yeah. How many Sterling Shepard
my favorite time of
tweets
year.
do we have?
It's my favorite time of year.
So the first rep of Sterling Shepard was to the second team, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch Shep. And they run play action, and they put Shep on an over route, and Hawkins is playing from off coverage, and he gets physical as hell from off coverage too. Like really, and you're like, because I didn't know it was Hawkins at the time, because I'm expecting Shepard just this guy's an off coverage. I know what Shep does. Shep's gonna first play back out. He's gonna make this dude look silly, and this guy gets physical with Shep, and then as Shep is bending the route, he undercuts it and breaks the pass up. And I'm like, man, Shep, like, and then it was Trey. I was a little disappointed. Then I saw that it was Trey Hawkins, B Corn Dog.
Nope.
No, Patel.
You have to now. You have to now buy tickets to the watch party, and you will be on the stream for 10 minutes. You have to.
You just upped it from 5 minutes. How about that?
10 minutes. April 14th. Same birthday as Brian Dable. Go ahead. Trey Hawkins.
Happy birthday, Brian Dable. And Trey Hawkins was able to undercut it. And then Tyrod Taylor throws a deep ball to Jalin Hyatt, and you're like, oh, a little overthrown, which means, hey, when the ball's overthrown to Jalin Hyatt,
Hawkins
guess what?
Was there, though.
Jalen Hyatt gets to run at full speed, no slowing down for it or adjusting to the ball, just running full speed. Trey Hawkins is in his hip.
He's right there.
He is in his hip.
That's the first thing I said.
I didn't get to see a bunch of the one-on-one wide receivers versus DBs, but our social media guy, Ryan, did, and he sent me all the clips. Guess who the best one was? It was Trey Hawkins mugging Jeff Smith. Now, again, it was Jeff Smith, but one-on-ones are built for the wide receivers to win. Like, you go through all the clips, the wide receivers are winning all of them. It's just, you look at it and like, okay, how much is this guy winning by? What is he winning by? And Trey Hawkins was like, not only did he win it and mug him, but it was like the quarterback's like, man, throw the damn ball. And he still was able to mug him in that. So,
yeah.
Trey
I
Hawkins
want
has
him
been,
to get first team reps.
So let's talk about this, because on the other side of it, there's two different camps for two different rookie corners. Deonte Banks right now is a bad he it's early in the camp, so obviously, like, hey, it's camp. But right now, what he is a bad corner. He is being targeted a lot, and he is being beat a lot, and it's not very close. Like, again, like the Darius Slayton post, Banks, I mean, he had him by a lot, and like that highlight that came out from the Darius Slayton play on Friday, the reason Banks was anywhere close was because the ball was slightly underthrown. Slayton slowed down, but he had him by 5 yards. Like, when that ball gets thrown, we look over, Slayton has Banks by 5 yards on that.
Yeah.
So right now, he's really bad. Now, Banks is starting at corner week 1, right? Absolutely. You traded up from the first round. He is starting. But I would like to see Trey Hawkins at least rotate in.
Well, I'm talking about in camp.
Yes, in camp.
I want in camp. I want to see Trey Hawkins get some first team reps.
Yeah, just some reps.
Reward your players that are playing well.
Let's see him get and not even just a reward. All right, play against the first team wide receivers and see what you look like.
That's the thing. Like, we're saying that Trey Hawkins is like thriving, but he's playing with the second and sometime, at the beginning of camp, I guess maybe it was the third team, but he's playing with the second team, where Deonte Banks is struggling because he's playing with the first team, and the wide receiver is an upgrade for the Giants.
And it could build some confidence for Banks going up against lesser wide receivers too.
Maybe.
And corner's a big confidence game. So
and I do want to point out, like, I'm sure a lot of people are like, well, maybe they're targeting him to get him experience. And Jerome Henderson has talked about in the past that with their younger corners, they do like to pick on him. So that is 100% that's part of it. But I don't think the offense is trying to install the offense. The offense is not like Brian Dable isn't going to be in Daniel Jones' ear being like, I think we need to let's target Deonte Banks. They're trying to run their offense.
Well, even if they are, that doesn't mean that being bad is good.
But no, correct. But I'm just saying like the reasons and the excuses and the justifications that people would say why it's okay.
This is all you need to say. It's the first week of camp. Give him time.
Yes.
Because we knew this was going to happen. Like listen to the draft recap pod. He's going to struggle as a rookie.
Yeah.
The question is, how much can he grow? And are the struggles or are the struggles like absolutely terrible? If we were to play tomorrow, they'd be absolutely terrible. By week 1, can it be some rookie struggles? By week 6, are we having some good games and then some bad games? And then by the end of the season, like it's about growth with Deonte Banks.
Yep.
Like there's a reason why a guy with the elite, 99th percentile athleticism fell to 25 because there's issues in his game that need to be worked through. So let him work through those. Let this coaching staff work through all of them. Again, so but he is bad right now, and it's noticeable. So, like, if we play tomorrow, it'd be some struggles. Also, more DB struggles, which I don't really – it's the opposite end of the offense doing so well, is that the defense isn't doing so well. Besides, some of their pressures are getting there, like we talked about at the beginning with some of the sacks. Darnay is struggling more than Flott, and Flott should be the starter, but Flott's not playing amazing either.
He has good reps, bad reps.
Yeah, but it's – I'd like to see some more like flash plays out of Flott while he struggles, but they both are struggling. But Darnay's getting beat like badly. So Flott should be the starter, but neither one is like going out and winning that job.
I think there's a shot he doesn't make it.
We'll see.
They're not treating him like they were treating Slayton last year. If they start treating Darnay Holmes like they treated Slayton last year, where it's like you're just not on the field.
They don't really need the cap space this year, though.
Yeah.
And Aaron Robinson's hurt. Like
that's true.
Amani Aurora is with the third team, even though that was like a free agent headline. Mm-hmm. Like he is. I mean, he would make the team. Let's see.
I thought Bobby Okereke had a good day.
So one-on-one. This is a great talking point about one-on-ones. One-on-ones is like, yeah, can the receiver or the running back, the tight end catch it? Yeah, but if it's tight coverage in a one-on-one, which is totally like, I'm fine with that. So there was actually some Saquon really tight catches in one-on-ones, but Okereke was blanketing him. And it's like if a running back's covered like that in a regular game, the quarterback's just not going to throw there, whereas a one-on-one you have to throw there. And he looked really good in coverage. When they did do some run stuff, it's like first helmet there is Bobby Okereke. Mm-hmm.
They did more run stuff today than they have through any practice, but again, they're not full pads yet. So
yes, but he was at least like getting there and seeing what they're doing.
Credit to LPG. I went to both of you. Who's going to be the giant factor this practice, the X factor this practice? LPG right away says Bobby Okereke. Who did you say?
I said my day's ruined because there's no
because they're not.
I set up in a place where they do O-line D-line one-on-ones to watch O-line D-line one-on-ones, and then when they weren't wearing pads, I was very disappointed.
Very disappointed. But LPG, shout out, you were right.
Shout out LPG. Kelvin Arzu says, you think any of these corners are getting traded? No, I don't see anyone. No, I don't believe so. We got some
Shane did say
spam in here. Let me block this guy.
Oh no.
NFL live stream.
Shane did say about no, it's normal year to year stuff, so I'll block.
I could just do hide user on this channel. Is that what you do?
I got it.
This user's messages will be hidden.
Hide user on this channel. Got it. All right, are we good to start to look at some chats and stuff?
Let me see so other defensive notes. I looked because Jihad Ward had a rest day. O'Shane and Fox were the backup edges, so if someone goes down, Fox is the next guy up. Pinnock was at safety. Now I don't look at. He made a nice catch on that interception, but I'm not like being like, wow, look at the. I think he had good coverage, I guess. But he did the picture. I saw the picture of the still shot, and I was like, that looks pretty damn cool. What they did for that. Let's see, what other defensive notes did I have? Yeah, I think that's it. We can start. Any news on inside linebacker too? I saw Micah McFadden getting more first team reps than he usually has, so they rotated that a good bit. Waller and Bellinger equals Gronk and Hernandez.
Hopefully without the murder.
Hopefully without or on the field murder. How about that? Yeah,
Most people. Does Banks have experience at the slot?
Why is this stupid thing in this? Let me refresh this.
Doesn't Banks have experience at the slot like his first year in Maryland or no?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Have they been using pre-snap motion as much as last year's training camp? They've been using it, but not. I don't think they'll ever use it as much as they did the first day of camp last year, where it was just like
they were just
every
orbit motion out of everywhere. Yeah,
but I think they're doing some different types of formations. Authentic says, I want Beasley. I know Beasley wasn't out there, but in comparison to Shepard and Campbell, you think he can have a role. Yeah. He was actually got back out there today. He had a really nice one-on-one rep versus Darnay Holmes, maybe like the cleanest one out of all of them. Beasley is like, I say, now I guess we'll see with Shep and Crowder back today, but Beasley got first-team reps today still with both those guys back. Now Shep got a couple as well too, and obviously Shep is part of the plan, but like Beasley's ahead of the higher on the totem pole than Jamison Crowder is. Like I would be surprised if Beasley doesn't make this team at this point.
Same here.
Neal had some great reps against Ojulari today. Yeah, so I did watch Neal a little bit. Like it wasn't as focused in on Friday, but it was good. Like it was fine, and that's really the preseason game is when I'm gonna really be like, okay, this is what I expect out of him this year. But he's been looking good.
I can't wait until they get full pads. We've talked so much about wide receiver DB, wide receiver DB, wide receiver DB. I can't wait for them to get full pads on that. I'm going to lock in on like the front seven.
Yeah. Julian Bright says, just join is Shep normal practicing. Just go back and start at the beginning, dumbass.
Yeah, Julian. But really, I saw like James Robinson question. We talked about James Robinson a little earlier. So if you're joining kind of,
it's a good way for us to tell you to go watch the whole thing.
Go watch the whole thing.
Because we did talk about those things. How about that? How's DeVito looking? Like a freaking touchdown.
He looks okay.
Amani looks pretty good. Amani's going to – I don't think Amani's going to make this – I mean, he's the third string corner right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's making the team.
Now, I was actually – because we're going to Lions camp, I was talking to some Lions people, and they are excited to get Amani back in. They're like, we want to see our wide receivers beat him on.
They want to cook him.
Let's see. Lawrence Cager with some great reps today, too, including the one-handed grab. Yeah, that was a really nice catch he made. Lawrence Cager is someone haven't talked about a lot because they've been doing two tight end stuff. But Cager's right now is going to make the team, and I hate to say it, but Myrick probably won't because Bellinger's going to take that fullback role, and they want to use the speed of Cager. And if Darren Waller were to go down,
you have to change the offense.
You're at least you're not going to be doing all the Waller stuff, but you can at least run some of the same plays. And I think Myrick, it's been proven that they can keep him around on practice squad and use him as elevations when needed. But as of right now, I would say Cager probably makes this team a guy who we haven't talked about a lot. How is Belton looking? He was the guy who gave up that Cager catch, and he was the safety with Hyatt making the deep catch, so maybe not as good.
It's also really weird to see how they did the same thing last summer. They've been utilizing the safeties differently than I think they're going to use the safeties on game days. There is a lot of rotation, like right before the snap or even at the snap, to like maybe if they're going to go too high, then they go too high. But Wink Martindale in training camp is just a sicko fucko and just crowds the line of scrimmage. Everybody is on the line of scrimmage, and I'm like, this is not real life. Like, this is not what you're going to do every single play. But every single play in training camp, there's 6-7 guys on the line of scrimmage, and then there's even a safety is like playing as like this pseudo nickel.
Every
nickel
down
corner.
is third down
and
for
then,
Wink Martindale.
And then there's the safety McKinney that's just deep. Every play. It's like, I know this is not your defense, like 100% of the time.
I know. It's just like, hey, it can't work. But at least this year it's like, we're not like, can you stop so the offense can at least practice their plays? At least the offense can do that this year.
Maybe the protection's holding up longer and shit like that, which is good, right?
Yeah. I just commented 848 watching, 114 likes. To get these to grow and for us to be able to do them next year, you need to like the stream.
I do need to say, I mean, keep leaving questions. We have talked about a ton. We have touched on a ton throughout the last couple of days. But I am going to say the first 3 streams are all over 10,000, and even what day is today? Sunday, Friday night stream which Friday night, who's watching a Giants recap practice? That's like on pace to get just as many views, if not even a little bit more, than day one stream, which day one has so much hype. Thanks to everybody that's been hanging out. Like these streams have been like just tripled from last year's, which is awesome.
Yeah, so we're finishing up now, and it's just been thanks for all the support, and even at the practices, man, I'm really having a good time talking with people. Like,
it's really fun.
Like today, we were surrounded by listeners and just talked about practice the entire time,
which is great.
So it's been really cool.
Total Glizzy stats. I have 2 hot dogs a day, and today was the first morning that I really started to get like agita.
So I've been telling myself I'm going to join you for one of the videos.
I don't think you're going to.
And today I was like, all right, today's Sunday. I'll do it. And then I was just like, no, I'm not doing it.
What they were doing today is they were playing. I want to talk about Shane Lemieux because I was trying to watch him a little bit today, Alan Clark. But what they were doing today is I got my hot dogs at the same time.
Do they know you yet?
Yo, the hot dog people, yeah. Every morning, I'm like, hey, we all? Oh, hi, how are you? Oh my gosh, it's such a great day. The cha-cha slide was playing at the same time that the hot dogs were being eaten by me, so I recorded my video doing the cha-cha slide while eating the hot dog, and I got ketchup on my shirt. Shane Lemieux, he was taking snaps today with the second team at center, and he's moving all right. I wasn't like locked into every single rep and every single play, but he's in a battle, and it's not clear if he's going to make the team.
Kyle just sent us a video with John Boy Media. Which New York team was closest to a championship? They stole our idea.
They did.
They stole our mailbag question.
Which it's the Giants.
CC Sabathia says Jets. The Kid Miro says Knicks. That makes sense. He's a homer for the Knicks.
Anybody say Giants?
Let's do rapid. Peter Rosenberg. Oh, fuck Peter Rosenberg.
Oh, wow. Hey, I like Peter Rosenberg.
He said Mets.
Mets. He's a basketball guy. I thought he would say Knicks.
Action Bronson said Knicks. He's an idiot. Ryan Rucco says Jets.
Why did Kyle send us this if nobody said Giants?
Maybe I'm waiting until the end.
Saquon Barkley says the Giants.
Said this might be. No one said Giants. Why would this be a good one?
Nope. Bad job, Kyle.
Not a good one.
Not a good one. Ignore. Dislike the message.
Oh, he said good one for us to hop in the comments on.
But
then I don't want to be I don't want to be like, well, why didn't you say my team? All right, let's end this. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Player profiles and projection. Who is tomorrow? Free agent edition. Paris Campbell, Bobby Okereke, Colts. They got out of Jim Irsay's hell. All right, we will see you guys tomorrow. Practice recap as well. Until then, let's go Big Blue.